Some dead return because they are summoned, others because they were never truly gone. But a rare few, very rare, return because they choose to. This is the story of one such dead. She was called Panochka, daughter of a general, raised on scripture and snowlight. When she died, even I believed it was a gentle end. I was wrong. The second chronicle begins not with evil, but with a girl who died too beautifully. The bishopric in Poltava received word a nobleman's daughter would not rot. The coffin sang, the soil hissed. Priests refused to enter the chapel. The general, Grigor Demyanovich, had influence and silver. No veteran priest would accept, so they sent Khoma, newly ordained, not yet afraid of silence. They called it a test of faith. It was not. It was a sacrifice. He came in early winter, boots too clean, cross-polished. The villagers did not speak, only stepped aside. A boy whispered, "She waits," and pointed to the chapel. It leaned like a drunk. Dome split, no candlelight. Inside, no rodents, no flies, just cold, dust, and pine. At the center, a coffin. He lifted the lid. She lay like wax and silk, hair brushed, lips parted, not at peace, just paused. Even death stood back to admire his own restraint. Khoma knelt, lit one taper, whispered prayers. The flame bowed. At dawn, her lips were more parted, and her smile had not been there before. He asked the villagers about her death. Only one answered, an old woman with a half-burnt face.
"We wanted to bury her with prayers none of us believed in."
He drew a circle of salt, lit 4 candles, began reading before sunset. At the 3rd psalm, her fingers twitched. At the 5th, her head jerked sideways, like something yanked it from behind. By midnight, her mouth opened. No sound, no breath, just open, like something was trying to climb out. She did not groan, did not scream. She smiled with her teeth and let the fear come in, polite like a guest. She rose, eyes closed, floated to the salt line, stopped. Then she spoke, sweet, amused.
"You pray well, Father, but do you know what you're praying to?"
He whispered a blessing. She sighed, turned, returned to the coffin. The circle held, but all 4 candles had gone out. The 3rd day, the sun did not rise, only a gray pulse behind the clouds. The ground was wet, though no rain had fallen. Khoma entered before dusk, not from faith, from fear. He did not speak, he did not pray. He simply sat. Inside the salt ring he had redrawn 3 times. The coffin stayed closed. Then, a voice, soft, right behind him.
"You're early, Father. Afraid you'll be late?"
He turned. She stood barefoot by the altar, head low, hair damp with soil.
"I didn't want to come."
"Go. Let the dead finish what the living couldn't."
She stepped toward the salt, stopped an inch before the line.
"What did you give up to be holy? Who did you turn away just to wear black and speak dead words?"
The prayer book fluttered open. There was no wind. She had not risen to be saved. She rose to ask the questions he buried, and she did not want answers, only guilt. Then, from under the floorboards, a sound, faint, slow, wet, as if something blind was crawling in circles beneath them. He did not leave the chapel. The candle was low. The salt circle broken in one place. He didn't know when. He hadn't eaten. His hands shook too much to hold the bread. The coffin stayed shut, but the chapel felt smaller, the shadows deeper.
Do you think they'll bury you properly? You'll die in here, Khoma, not in a field, not in your bed, in this box someone else paid for. I heard you weep last night, like a child, like a liar.
He had not broken yet, but the cracks no longer hid beneath the skin. Then the floor creaked, not from her, from beneath. Something was moving in the dark, slowly, closer. He blinked, and the world changed. Candles tall again, sunlight in the stained glass, birdsong, warmth, no salt on the floor. Panushka sat on her coffin, smiling gently.
I forgave you long ago.
He stepped forward, her voice calm, her eyes kind, her smile too wide, too many teeth.
But now you will stay with me.
The light snapped, the warmth gone. He was standing again, alone. The candles were dead. The salt was ruined. Her hand rested on the floor, palm up, waiting. Some lies feel warm enough to live in, but dreams cannot hold the dead. He lit the candles one last time, hands shaking, salt crooked. He read aloud, loudly, to cover the silence. The coffin lid was open, empty. The night held its breath. Then, the sound, dragging, wet, patient. The floor behind the altar cracked. V rose, not a demon, not a man. V is not summoned. He arrives when the truth refuses to stay buried. His eyes are sealed, not with lids, but with stretched flesh, sewn shut by the earth itself. Tendons, scars, living stitches, because even the dead are not meant to see what he sees. He is carried to the guilty, and when the flesh is cut, when those eyes open, you must not look. If your eyes meet his, you die, not by fire, not by force. You are unmade. Nothing you are survives his gaze. Even demons turn away.
He wants to see you.
She stepped behind him, placed her hands on the raw, knotted flesh that sealed V's eyes, and tore it open. The stitches split. The flesh peeled back. V saw, and Khoma looked. He gasped, not screamed, just gasped. His eyes turned black, not burned, removed, his mind hollowed. He collapsed, mouth still open. He saw too much, not of the world, of himself. V turned, sank back beneath the floor. She laid back in her coffin, smiling. The candles guttered. They buried the priest beside her. Not out of mercy, out of symmetry. 3 days later, the grave cracked, just enough to breathe. The chapel still stands, its windows always dark, its door never locked. V sleeps, but his eyes, once opened, do not close. You've heard the tale. You stayed until the end. That means you carry it now. So listen carefully. Like this tale, comment below so your name is remembered, and subscribe, or next time, I'll be telling yours. Chronicle 2 ends. But I do not sleep, and neither does V.